Hello. Hi Sharon. Hi Anne. Sorry, it was not. I was buying my specs, so couldn't read my mobile. So sorry. So let's wait for another few minutes for people to join in. I usually have the things which is ready if needed for the class, and I continue doing the tangling in the evening. So just when I was trying to set the table, I don't know where one of my bijou, which was to say the breathe, that got missing. So I was searching for it. That's the reason I was a little late to join the session. So apology. Doing good, Sharon. How are you? I love your work, Sharon. So just another a minute for people to join in. So it was nice to see last time's tiles which has been created by so many people. It was like really nice. So I shared as many I could share in, and I got to learn during this time that if they post it on their account, I just need to do a forward so that it comes on my story. So that was a nice learning over the week. I've been having that. So every session you guys give me some kind of a learning, so I'm grateful to that. So let's start the session. Just let's start the session. uh, like I said before we started, the usual ritual that I'm a certified Zentangle teacher from the Zentangle. So I'm certified to take classes, and this is the copyright information which I am sharing, which gives me the right and the copyright to the session which I'm doing. And secondly, this session which I'm sharing with you all is for your purpose, is only for you to enjoy, create and share it. No further commercial use of this teaching purpose or anything. So this video is completely on my copyright. And let's so just introduction to the tool. So I'm using a Zentangle branded tile, which is 3.5-inch square tile. So if you do not have this, you can draw a square onto any of your journal or anything, or any good paper, good quality paper. Because why we say that is that no, whatever you do for the 1 hour is your hard work and your creativity which comes in. So can I have a thumbs up if you are able to hear me? Right? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're able to hear me? Am I audible? Okay, I think I'm audible. Okay, 3.5 inch square is what. So why do we want to say that no good quality paper or something? Because you're doing 1 hour of your hard work and your creativity. So to keep it safe, so if not, any good paper is good enough just to enjoy the process, and that's the thing. And I'm going to use 0.5 micron pen, 0.005 micron pen today, because I'm going to do a little more finer. So I just want to take a 0.005, the very more finer one than the 0.1, and my pen nib, and a graphite pencil and a Tortolon. These two are used while for giving the shading and giving a nice 3D effect to the art form. If you do not want to do it, you can just leave it blank. That's fine. That's good enough. So if you're not wanting to do a shading, you can use a normal graphite pencil. I'm using a Zentangle graphite pencil and a Tortolon. And these are Sakura products which we strongly recommend, because we've been seeing the work being from the time Maya and Rick have been creating the work from 2003 when they created the work, and they're really nice and they're archival and good quality. So that's why we strongly recommend. We are branded, we co-branded with them, so that's the reason we also recommend strongly on Sakura. So these are the three things. So grateful to you people. So before we start, can we just take a few seconds of a deep breaths, and while you're doing your deep breaths, you can give your gratitude from your heart and mind, whomever you want to give gratitude at this particular hour, right? So just relax yourself, and let's keep all the thoughts away the next 1 hour, and let's calm ourselves, and just take a count of 3. I'm going to give you a count of 3, that you take a deep breath and exhale it out. And we will do a 6 deep breaths, which is just a random number, not that we only take 6 breaths. It's just that a random number of 6. Take a nice deep breath. And slowly exhale it out. Take a nice deep breath. Slowly exhale. Take a nice deep breath. And slowly exhale. Take a nice deep breath. And slowly exhale. Take another string deep breath. And exhale. Give your gratitude at this particular hour. Whom do you want to give? Thank you. So let's start. So that goes with my copyright, and grateful to you people who are joining the session. So sorry, my breath is not to be seen. So let's do the breath. No mistakes. Let's enjoy. Artist Zentangle is no mistakes, which is a very good philosophy. And let's enjoy and create our style. So today we're going to play with 2 patterns. One is called as Caro. Like I said, we will be working on heart related pattern. So we're going to do Caro, and Bella is another pattern. So Caro was created by Lucy Farhan, and she had created in this as a memory to Carolyn, who was a certified Zentangle teacher who passed away. In memory of her, Lucy Farhan had created this pattern, Caro. It's a very nice pattern, because Caroline was a very big-hearted person, who used to love, and she was from Ireland, and she used to enjoy sharing and caring. She was an amazing person. So this pattern is in memory to her. So this is a nice fragment. So it's a triangle fragment. My marker takes a few seconds to start because I left it open. Okay, so there are 2 ways of doing it. I'm just going to do one way, right? So this right at the center, you will draw a heart. on one facing on the top and the other facing on the down and the other facing on the side. And I'm just going to just demonstrate it that little bigger. It's going to be an heart this way and another heart, another heart, right? And then there's going to be a parallel aura, which is like forming a triangle again inside. And then you're going to ink this one, and you're going to ink this one. And you just do a 2 strokes of thing, line inside. So that's it. So now that you play again, I'm just going to play it again here. So now I'm going to this way. I'm going to do a heart on this side and a heart on this side and a heart on this side. So you can play around with the orientation getting changed. So if you're not comfortable, you can move your tile or your book to your comfort and then do it. Right? That's it. Now, what I'm going to, because this is little broader pen of mine, so I should have drawn a little bigger triangle. So that's fine. I've demonstrated it down, right? So you keep doing it. Sometimes if your triangle is too big, now this is too small for me to do it, but I'm just going to say that you can even divide it by half and then do it. So you'll get a bunchier kind of, the flowers out here. So now I'm going to go back and do it here again, because I feel this is little more spacious for me to demonstrate in a purpose. So your shape of your heart can be whatever you want to. You want a fatter, you want a wavy, or whatever, you can do it. Right? So you keep continuing it. Right? Now if you want to do a lot of variations, let's do a variation right now, like I always teach, one variation at least. So what you do is, you're going to do this heart, right? You can draw another thicker line kind of a stuff, which is forming as a heart, or you can do, I'm just going to show variations in this. You can just thicken it up here, right? And if you want, you can draw a line out here, that's fine. Or you can just draw lines on that. So I'm just showing you 3 kind of a variation into the same thing. So don't do this. You can, if you want, you can do it. It looks different. That's it. Nothing wrong in it. Right? So when you're doing this, right? So now if you can see, now I'm going to use a white and going to go. So if you see it, this got merged because we did this one, right? So when you're going to do this kind of a thing, what you do is leave a small circle out there, so that I just did it with the white just to show the thing. So you can, that's the reason so what you can do, white mark. So when you're doing it, so I'm going to demonstrate the same kind of a thing. I'm going to use this pattern, this variation, okay. Here what you can do is, you can do a small circle kind of a stuff and leave it. My pen is thick, so it wouldn't. So when you do this, of your thickening it here, you will get a kind of a spacing out here happening out here. Yeah, can you see that? Hi Pallavi. So we good with this? This is the pattern which is called Caro. It's in the name of the certified Zentangle teacher Carolyn. Her first four letter, which is Caro, which actually means, I believe it means deer. That's what I read. The Bella is another one, so which is by Beatrice Arumas. Yeah, Aruna's certified Zentangle teacher. This is another which is a string. Okay, and then you draw a semicircle, and then you draw another semicircle. That's right from the center. Now what you do, from this one you will complete it, and from this you will complete it. And actually I'm sorry, I messed it out. You will have a line out here coming in. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again. So it's going to be this and this, and this is going to come behind, so it's going to be like this, and this is going to continue, and this. Right now, given the month of but I'm not going to do, I'm going to do this because it will become too hard. What you can do is you can draw the first line, and you can draw a heart. Okay, and then you can draw another line, which is the second line, and midway of it you can draw another heart, and this one you can continue it here. You can want to do it, you can try to get a heart shape out here. If you really want it realistic and can continue to do it, you can do it. So I'm going to turn because I was not comfortable on it. So it's just basically it's going to be an heart, and midway through this is going to be another heart, and this is going to come like this, and this is, so if you want to do, you can do an hearty thing, but I'm going to continue to retain this, and I'm going to do that. Right, so we're going to use these two patterns. Sam is comfortable, so you could see that I struggle, so that's the reason we say that a tie makes it more easier for us to do, so that we can turn us most comfortable on that part. Right, so we're going to work on this pattern, which is Carol, and we're going to work on this pattern, which is Bella. We're going to mix these two patterns and then go about it. So if you're good, let's go to our tie. So if you see it, what I was trying to say is that this is one, you can do this, which is my swatch pattern card of that, and another way is this way. So I just did both, so that's my swatch pattern card. So let's go with our string. So I'm going to do a string which is from this end to this end. So I'm just going to draw. I'm fine drawing the dark because I'm going to ink the string, so I'm fine with it. So I'm going to just and I'm going to draw 1 2 3. So I'm just going to partition it into 3. So I'm just going to partition it into, so I'm going to 3 horizontal lines. Now you want a little wavy, you want to do it, you can do a wavy line. So this is going to be for me a straight, so I'm going to go back and ink it up. Right, so I'm going to have 1 2 3, and I've kept a little broader than the pencil thickness. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw triangles. So I have done the tile this way. So I've done the string on the tile this way, that this is my outer string, this is my outer string, and I've done 3 horizontal lines, right? And I'm going to have Bella out here, so just going to do a outline to this. So I'm just going to do an outer aura. So that clear, right? So now I'm going to use my pen, which is my 005, and I'm going to start inking it. So I'm going to outline this. So I'm just going to outline the outer of my string. Now if you see it, the reason that I inked it little darker with a darker on the pencil, so when I draw it, it will look little. So that's the reason we very clearly say that always your string has to be in pencil and in a very light way, that it is not very obvious. So I'm just going to do the outer aura, right? And I'm going to draw the inner line. And the pencil what we use is a graphite pencil, which is a 2B, which is good enough to be dark. So try avoiding not to put pressure on it. And right, so we're just going to ink again all my triangles all the way down. Just going to ink it up. So I'm just inking it up, and I have used 005, which is very fine. That's why the lines will be very thin. Just going to show. Right, now what we're going to do is, now we're going to start. So I'm going to ink, mark my center, and that's going to be my base point, and I'm going to draw my heart. Right, so I'm going to rotate him, so I would be keep rotating my tile. I'm just going to draw the 3 hearts, and then I'll come back for the outer aura, which I'm going to do it. Right, so there's one way of doing, not rotating every time. You can just do all this one which is right at the down, which is going to be comfort space for you. You can just do those. and this is going to be half, so right, and this is going to be again I'm going to have, this is going to be my center, so right. So now I'm going to turn my tile. This is going to be my center now. Right, so your hearts are going to be different shape, that's fine, so no worries on that part. Right, so now I'll finish that first row. Hi Beena. So I'm going to just finish this row. So that you get to see it. And I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to draw strokes. So I'm not doing anything much, so I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to do so I'm going to go like I told, I'll do all the alternate triangles. This takes a little time to fill in because the pen is very fine, so when you have an inking to do, it takes really time because your strokes gets marked. But it's not that it can't be doable, it is doable. It's just that you get more time doing it and gives you such a calming effect to you. Very, very meditative. Just that you'll have to be focused. Right, so I'm going to go here. This is the last triangle. Right, so now I'm going to turn to make myself comfortable. So I'm going to turn. If the distance between your inner triangle and the outer triangle, the spacings are different, that's fine. Just that you will get a different result, which I keep telling. So that's the reason I had today the one of the bijou thing to say that no mistake. So So there we go. Do they look pretty? Now if you feel that this is too thin, broader, you can just thin it up by increasing that. So I feel more comfortable when I keep rotating the tile. So that makes me more comfortable when I am drawing. So and if you're a person who has difficulty in drawing or something, so don't use your 005 for filling in, because it might give you aches. So do the one what is comfortable. Take swap to a broader pen. I'm just continuing with it. So you can swap to another thicker pen when you want to do the inking part. So not that you need to stick to the same pen. They look nice, right? So we'll fill it completely. I'm not sure whether you're noticing it. I put a small dot right at the center before I continue on it. They can touch till the border, or as good which you want to do it. Right, so I'm again rotate it. People who have joined in late, we're doing two patterns today. One pattern is called Caro, which is created by a person by name Lucy. She had done it in memory of another certified Zentangle teacher, Carolyn, who passed away in an accident. So we're doing that pattern. So currently what we're doing is Caro. We're not doing any variation, we're just doing the same simple pattern. You can do a variation, right? Our second line is also done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an aura inside to get a triangle. So it's a kind of a fragment which gets repeated to give you a different outlook. What you see right now and what you see in shading will completely differ. I'm going to show you what I had played around in my journal, because I was taking it designing for a class. A person wanted to do a class, so I am designing on that. So that's been my lesson plan for them, how to showcase the different So same pattern can look different when you shade. Right? Keep doing it. Enjoy this process. Just enjoy that moment. That gives you kind of calmness. If you see, I take time and pause and talk because sometimes we want to focus. That's what Zentangle brings in. So right, so here we go. Aura to the form the inner triangle. Now you can do a wonky triangle. What do I mean by wonky triangle? I'll just show you. Just give me a minute. Then what happens, your inner flower, they may look different. So just let me change the pen. So if I assume that these are your lines, right? So we did a triangle like this, so we can do a triangle like this. So you obviously your line will go up there, and then you have a thinner lines, and then you have a thing. So your flowers will look, sorry, my heart became different, sorry. Right, so it becomes a little, see, so you can do a wonky way of doing it. So you will have your hearts becoming thin, you see, so it become little wonky kind of a stuff. So you can play on doing that also. And so for like a straight line, you can just do a little wonky on us. I know few patterns of heart, but for the class today what I'm doing is something completely different. Both the patterns, Bella, I've tried, I played few, not very much, but I like it. But while designing, I wanted to take a pattern, and Caro was the perfect pattern to play. And since we are celebrating the Valentine month, and using a pattern which is dedicated to a certified Zentangle teacher is very nice. A kind of a good thought behind it. So let's go back and put the 2 strokes. It need not be 2. If you want to do a 3, you can do it. It's not that you, I think it paused for a minute or something, so I hope we didn't lose anything. So we were just doing the triangle filling in only, nothing much. You would have missed out on me talking, that's it. So have this mobile, I had this some challenge, so I had launched downloaded an app, so that sometimes pops up some alert, so then the video gets paused. in my in my the private classes I get to know it, but when I'm doing it here I don't get to notice it. See, I felt here this was too thick, so I'm just made it thin. Now can you see the reason why I wanted it to be in a thing? Can you see they form? And here also it's too thick. You see, you will find a pattern kind of a forming out here, right? So that's the reason I wanted it to be. So now if you do it and not in sync, then your result will be different. It would look very complicated, right? So the way we deconstructed it and then did it, so right. So let's continue on this. So again I'm going to do the center, and this particular part I'm not going to do anything, and I'm going to just ink it up, this one and the space and the space. Okay, we may extend it a little beyond 9. So good that nowadays Insta doesn't kick you out, so we'll go a little beyond 9. I could have just done 2 rows and done a bigger one, but just wanted to do it a little more thing so that it gives you a different effect. So the way you draw your heart, you can just do the way you are comfortable. It's just that what I'm showing is a demonstrating it, so just guiding you. So someone was telling that watching gives us peace. I said, go ahead, just watch. first time I heard someone saying that just watching the session gives us peace. I said, fine, so go ahead, watch. We just want people to enjoy it and relax. We are happy as far as Zentangle brings happiness into your life. You can make this, I've chosen this string. You can play around with the string and make it more organic also. While I'm just drawing, it just gave me, you can make it as a circle and kind of a bouquet kind of a stuff. Make your string and you can do that. So it can look like a bunch of flowers. So that time you can do a double heart kind of a stuff, and your a triangle, little bigger triangle, so that you will have those inner heart plus those small circles. Then they will look really pretty. Okay, I have a space here, so it's going to be this. So I just realized there's a space out here, so I'm just going to fill it up here. So I'm just going to do here. If you go till the edge and then do it, they the pattern formation which happens at the corners, edges, don't leave it too thick, leave it thin. Then the pattern formation at the edges, they look really good. So take your time, no hurry. Not able to do while I'm doing it, you can just watch it and do when you're comfortable. And now my sessions are on my YouTube, so if you find comfortable doing it in YouTube, you can go to YouTube. You can search through as Maya Avanith or Maya's Arts. So they are uploaded on YouTube. Because some people do not have Insta, so I've started to do it in my YouTube. So do watch there if you have, and you can subscribe and definitely like it. And I'm sure you're liking it, each of the sessions, and you guys have been showering. Yes, we are done. Right, I'm just going to take a little thicker pen and I'm just going to ink it up here. Well, like I said, I'm not going to do continue doing the pattern out here. If you want to do it, you can do it, but I'm just going to ink it up that place. and I cannot do with the 01. It'll really take time, but it's very soothing when you do that with a lesser thinner pen. The inking, it kind of really gives you that soothing. Just that when you do a thicker nib, you have to be careful on the edges. So whatever I advise is that always do a border, and then you end up doing it the filling, so then you get the space to do the inner space to do it off. So your strokes can be left, right, or a circular motion. So I'm just going to ink this up because I just want a little darkening out here. So I'm just going to ink it up because the 01 was very fine. Right? You want to leave it, you can leave it like this. You don't want to do the second pattern, that's fine. You can leave it. I'm going to continue my second pattern. I'm just going to leave a space so that because that circle, the semicircle will have to come in. So I'm going to space it up. I'm doing a little broader one. You can do a little thinner one, shorter one. What I'm doing is I'm inking it up here. You can ink it up, or you can just leave it. I just went with the flow and I've inked it up. So you can just ink alternate and just leave this. I'm going to leave a little space. I'm just going to leave a space as a gap, and then I'm continuing. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another one here, but I'm again taking a space and I'm doing it, but this time it's going to come right at the center for me. Let's go behind and draw it. Right, and I'm going to do another one here, which is again half. Right, and I'm going to do another again one. This is again half. Right, what I'm going to do is this particular, I'm just going to do an aura to this. I'm not going to leave it, I'm going to just ink it up to make it in symmetry. I'm just doing an aura. Right, I'm just doing an aura. Now what I'm going to do is, you want to just do one and you want to leave it, that's fine. I'm going to just draw lines which is like kind of a in gap, right, and I'm going to draw again fine lines. Because my pen is really fine, I'm doing it. If you want, if you're going to use a thicker pen, then do with the spacing. I'm doing it in different directions, they are not in the same directions. right? Now that I'm going to continue with the same kind of a stuff here, so I'm going to ink. It's quicker to do it. That was not my plan, it just happened, so I'm just continuing with it. Because I went with this flow and I inked it up. So, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just quickly going to show the shading, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it right at the edge. I'm just going to do right at the edge, right? And here I'm just going to do, the reason is that I didn't want to shade, ink it up, is because the effect comes of this art, this pattern comes when you don't ink. There it comes out really well. And I'm going to do right. So I'm just going to use my Tortillon and just going to smoothen it up. Right. And then what I'm going to do is this particular place, which is what we did, the inner aura. So I'm just going to little of my graphite. Just following the same aura, I'm just going to do, and I'm just going to pull it up with my Tortillon. Now my Tortillon has got enough of graphite, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the inner space wherever they were on different directions. I just go darken it up. Right, and whatever I've done here, I just go a little more inking it up, and I'm just going to go a little more inside. Right. Now if you've done a bigger petals, then what you can do is you can just shade these edges of the heart, and you can give that effect also. They look nice. You can do that. Right. Now I'm going to continue. If I'm going to repeat the same thing out here, I just want to demonstrate the shading part, because if people want to log out, because what you get to see on a live and then on a IGTV, I found there is the differences. So I thought let me show. It'll just take another 5-10 minutes to finish. you can do a little more broader. While I've done a little thinner one, so you want to do a little more broader the bella, the circle part, you can do that. Right? So I'm just going to go this way. I'm doing it in an angle. Right? So I'm just going this way, so this is going to be in this direction, so I'm just keeping it synced to it. The lines are not uniform, that's fine. So, and this, if you see, I've done it very slowly. So now I kind of hurried up, so the strokes went a little haywire. So keep calm and do. Right, so now we did now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the alternate here, because I did it there, I'm doing it here, but just that I'm reversing the side which is getting done. You can actually do the alternate one also, that is this one and this one inking also, they look nice. In fact, that was my plan to do it, because I loved it when I did it on my practice one. So I'll just show you what I did before we go complete it. So if you could see it here, this is my small journal. This is a 3.5, but it's a 5 kind of a stuff. So if you can see the 3 different types of shading which I've done it out here. So I've done 3 different types of shading. So I've done a shading which is this direction, and I've done a different little out here, and I did a little different out here. And this is something what we tried creating, but then I gave a little thing to it, and I made it a little thinner here. I wanted to do it a little more broader. And if you see here, the bellas are really fat and they look really nice. Right, so that's how we end up doing, playing around. And if you'd seen this without shading and I was not liking it, I was like wondering what, but then I gave those shading, it kind of really came out of the Thank you, Pallavi. So now I'm going to just go ahead and do the shading part of it. Okay, now there is something, if I don't know whether you've noticed, I've gone with the conversation that I haven't done the aura, so it's okay. I just realized when I was about to go shade it out here, I just realized, so that's fine. And I can give you a trick that you've not done the aura. So what we can do, if you have not done this inking, could have done the aura and inked up that space, so then those lines which has gone in would have got disappeared. But aura and ink, it will not go, so you're fine with it. They're different. It's not needed that they need to be the same. That's what Zentangle teaches us. So right, if you want to, you can ink the same thing like this and then go ahead and continue on it. I'm just going to do an aura outside. I'm just going to do an aura too. Just an aura there. Now if you want to ink it on either side, you can go ahead and ink it up, or you can just leave it up, right? So now if you want to do just this inner part of it, you want to shade it up, they look nice. And when I did that, I just noticed that I missed out on the strokes out here, so a random check to check if they are. So now you change the orientation of these flowers also, you will get a different see. Can you see that the difference of the shading which brings in out there? So you can continue doing it or just leave it up. I'm just for demonstration, I've done it. So I will end it up, finish it up after this session. So ink it up a little more. And I'm doing it with a flat, I'm not doing it straight like this. That's what we do with the tortillons and the stubs. Okay. So if you want to, you can just ink up, the graphite out here, or you want to just ink it up, because sometimes black, not sometimes, always black brings in a lot of drama and makes it more lively. So you can do that, or you can just graphite it and leave it, or no graphite, just leave it. And the most important thing, once we have done, is that we own it up. So I will just go ahead and put my chop, my signature, my chop, whatever. This is too thick for me to do my sign. So that's the thing. So let's keep the one what I did before. So no mistakes. enjoy. In fact, I poured it out here maybe, but I was conscious that I ended up doing mistakes which happened out here, to just to demonstrate it out here. Just see that the same pattern, they look so different. Welcome, Mary. How is the snow around there? So thank you, Ladybug. Hug. Welcome, Zentangle. Thanks for all of you too. I have to say that thanks for joining in and giving me company at this hour. That's late evening for India. Different time zones we are there and across the globe, so I can see people from across the globe. This is something which is, again, see the same different patterns, different way. This is a very small journal. This is by Stillman. It's very nice, but this is a costlier one, but easy to carry around and just walk around, and it's the size of a tile which it comes into it. So it's a little bigger than the tile because it's a rectangle. Otherwise it's a rectangle and a square and a small rectangle is what the size is. So it's a 3.5 by 5. It's a good, so it's easy to carry around and very small and a lovely paper, and I love this brand. I have different sizes of it, and so this was my latest which I got to pick up during December. So enjoy, and let's catch up again next week. Mistakes, enjoy. We'll catch up next week. See, again, this swatch also looks different, right? And if you do the shading of these hearts also, they're going to be turned out different. So to explore, there's enough way to explore, and it's among us results you're going to get it. So yeah, Mary, I know it's morning there, 8:30, around 8:30 or whatever kind of a thing. Thanks for joining in. See you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, which is India. So keep watching and keep sharing your love, and please create your tile and share it, because it kind of inspires me in return. So my doggy has come to tell time to wind up. See you all next week. Bye.